Hey, this is Ethereal Aeons Activation. I'm Leslie. I'm bringing you out here with me today. I'm headed to the river and just this beautiful scenery I want to share with you guys. I'm still exploring this area. For those of you who are new or just don't know, I live in a very remote area in Costa Rica. So the cool thing about this is that when I'm exploring new areas, I don't have to worry about it being trafficked with people. This is private property, and so it just makes it a completely different experience. And I'm still just amazed by it because I didn't always have this opportunity or accessibility. And all I ever wanted was to just be alone with the sophionic intelligence. And so I want to share that with you. So I came here yesterday and I collected some water from the river. And so I have a fresh new bottle stored, which river water has its own properties for spellcrafting. So you know, when you're working with different elements, in this video we're going to be talking about elemental wisdom, in particular water. When you're building up your altar, when you're getting your supplies and all of this, you want to make sure that when you have the opportunity and you're in remote areas where it's clean and there's good energy, you want to ask and take a little bit of that water or whatever the element is. You want to take that with you back home. You want to give it a place where it can continue flourishing and also providing its elemental wisdom. So I always keep a little bit of the river water. I also have a little bit of lightning water, sea water. So if you're new to Magick or you're wanting to expand on that, that's like the first tip I can give you is to do that. And maybe you don't even know what you want to do with it right away, but the time will arise where it will come in so handy for you. So in today's video, we're going to talk about elemental wisdom. And if you are genuine about working with the sophionic intelligence, it will be quite an organic progression for you. You will quickly begin to see the subtle ways that it works within yourself first. So in particular, this video is going to be about water. And it's all intertwined within your energy, your emotions, your thoughts, your passions, your fears, everything. So the elements have this ability to shapeshift and transform. So we want to pick up on this as well. We want to learn the ways of how water behaves and what it's communicating with us. I assume most of you have a very animistic approach to life and observe nature as sentient with a spirit of its own. And this is what we call the sophionic intelligence. So Gaia is observable in all of the landscape, and this wisdom is transferable. Okay, you can have deep downloads available there, and with the knowing that it's there to always work in your favor so that you can begin to form a relationship with not only the elements in nature, but the elements within yourself. I think we forget that sometimes. I think we forget to thank ourselves and thank nature, which we are nature, and nature is us, and look at ourselves and look down at our bodies, look within at our energy, and thank ourselves and give gratitude and ask for wisdom there as well. But for now, here we are taking this beautiful walk. But I do want to point out that while there are layers upon layers of Archon encrypted codes, and we live in a holographic reality, okay, most of my videos are about this, in fact, but there is a divine intelligence permeating through the reality and within ourselves. And bridging this gap with oneself is how we begin to gain clarity and gnosis. So typically for clients who are healing from deep emotional wounds, when I work with people like this, I tend to always gear them towards the water element. For in water is where we heal. Our water cells are able to carry this imprint, even though our minds aren't aware of it and we've swept it aside. Like I said, these traumas are still imprinted in our water cells, and so it's very important to understand that on a metaphysical level. And so I guided a client for her to begin communicating with her body's water cells. And this was like her self-practice that she was supposed to do. And so I told her, I said, I want you to talk to your water cells while you're in water. And the reason why is because to have that stimulation of the water on your skin, it innately opens something up within you to begin to understand it better than is it, right? And so I told her, for her, it was going to be while she was in the shower. And so basically all she was instructed to do was to speak to her water cells, because of course everything within us is sentient. It listens to us, it understands our vibrations coming out of our mouths and through our thought powers. And so I told her I wanted her to begin to communicate with her water cells so that she can begin that direct, open communication, so that healing can then transition after. And so she started doing this in the shower, and when I talked to her the next week, she had this incredible download. And what she told me was that she started getting messages, but in a way where it's like there was no words. It was just something that happened and she knew exactly what it was. And so she had noticed that when she was talking to her water cells in the shower, she kept getting directed towards her elbow. Now, she wasn't asking for any specific body part or anything of this nature, but somehow like her eyes would get drawn to her elbow. Or she said that she almost thought she saw something on her elbow, so she looked down and there was nothing there. And so this happened the first day, and it happened a couple more times, and it finally dawned on her. And she had this moment where she knew she was being communicated to, and what it was saying was basically like pointing to her elbow. She knew that meant like flexibility. It's a joint. It's like a hinge that opens and closes, gives you the ability to, move your forearm. And so she knew that she was not being flexible in her own life, not being flexible in her own mind, her own thought process, which then let open like this floodgate of self-realization of what was really going on with her internally, and how this inability to be flexible was really starting to cave in on her. So this little simple act turned into something that helped her realize something so deep within that it was so obvious, but she just wasn't able to see it. And this was directly related to the fact that she had the intention, even though it was a little, she was a little skeptical, or she felt a little awkward about it, but she did it, okay? And so this is the thing I always tell people as well, is don't wait for the perfect time to do something, to do anything, whether it's a huge feat towards something you want, or whether it's something that you don't really want to do, but you should. So don't wait for the perfect time, because it's not going to present itself. That doesn't really exist. So even though she wasn't 100% sure about doing this, she still did it. She didn't wait until she was fully aligned and everything was magical within her. She just tried it out. And she tried it out again and again, and she got the messages. So long story short, she was able to gain some clarity. She was able to see herself from a different perspective. She was able to zoom out on things. A lot of times when we're not flexible in our minds, we're not zooming out on the bigger picture. We're getting way too attached to the mundane And so this is just a tiny example of how you can work with water, is communicating with your own water cells. And I'm not really gonna do like a tutorial on how to do that, but I gave you a pretty good example here. And scanning your body in the shower while communicating with your water cells, telling your water cells how to flow harmoniously and to maintain homeostasis within you, allowing yourself to be cleansed by the water. Something as simple as a foot bath, so like an Epsom salt foot bath, or just throwing in some salt and lavender, maybe some essential oil into a foot bath, and you relax in the rest of your body, is such an easy way and a great place to start as well. So yeah, this is just one tiny element, one facet of elemental wisdom, tapping into the water element. Observing it is the best way to begin a relationship with any elemental, is simply observing it. You don't always have to go out there with some sort of structured way of approaching the element. I find that silence and observation is what is needed for a true relationship with the element. And this is how you can begin to present yourself to the element as well, as just, hey, I'm completely present here. I am observing and I am open for communication and a relationship. And that's all I can say about that for now. And if you don't have that body of water near you, start small. Keep water element and how it influences your life and how you can relate to it and how you can embrace it. Keep that kind of running through your mind, keeping whatever you need around you to support that as well. So it's really always going to be about the intention you have, understanding why you want to work with this element. Is it because of its deep healing nature? Is it because maybe you have some sort of fear around water? Or is it because you've always been called to it? And really, what does that say about who you are? And really just kind of, you want to analyze it in a way, just so that you can get some sort of context. But I guarantee you, the more you begin to tap into the water element, the more that you'll be able to see the grander scale of it all, and you'll be able to like zoom out on your own consciousness and your own experience, and that can then take you to where you want to go. And I hope you enjoyed the visuals. I hope you enjoyed taking this walk with me, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you do to tap into the water element. If you would like some sort of tutorial or tutorials about working with water, it's definitely something that I can offer you guys here on the channel. And if you'd like to learn more about working with me, check out the links in my description. I'm a teacher at the School of Mysticism, so I definitely suggest that if you want to kind of move out of these mainstream platforms like YouTube and into a private community of fellow waterbenders or elemental magical practitioners, that's what we have to offer inside the school. So yeah, I did not get into waterbending here, but there is lots of content available on that inside the school. And yeah, also check out the links for my Soul Empowerment, an 8-week immersive experience where you get to work with me one-on-one. And I also have my one-on-one classes available. I am a yoga teacher, meditation teacher. I also teach Qigong and pranayama. So check that out if you want your own custom class or if you would like a live class with me. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up and share with a friend. I will see you guys very soon.